Dreadlocks have a lot of hidden misconceptions around them. So I'm just going to go through this video to give you as much information about both permanent dreadlocks and semi-permanent options so that you can make the most informed decision for yourself as to what is the better fit. When I say permanent though, I want to be very clear that even permanent dreadlocks are not super permanent. Now there are pros and cons to both, but the first thing I want to mention is improper application of dreadlocks in either a semi-permanent or a more permanent solution can cause extreme hair loss and traction alopecia if it's not done correctly. Over the years of doing locks, I have seen, unfortunately, too many cases where locks were installed incorrectly and caused tension on the scalp, which ultimately led to hair loss. Some of these people lost their locks. Some of them had to take them out, and some of these people have immense bald spots on their head. So maintenance with either option is super, super important. Everyone thinks that dreadlocks are not a high maintenance style, and they are more high maintenance than you think that they will be. Okay. Whether you go with a permanent application or a semi-permanent application, you need to come back in for maintenance. If you are not coming in for maintenance, your locks will do what is called trunking. They will start to grow together and you will have to physically rip them to separate. What happens at that point in time is hairs will be over directed and they will start to intertwine with your locks again in either a permanent or a semi-permanent application where they start to lock in, creating tension that is being dragged from the scalp. So to avoid doing this, you need to come in for proper maintenance. So with semi-permanent, it's typically every 8 to 12 weeks, depending on how fast your hair is growing, that you're going to come in, you're going to have your semi-locks removed and you're going to have them put back in. This can be done in either a double-ended dreadlock extension or a single-ended dreadlock extension. With permanent locks, you're still going to be coming in for maintenance. And I found that for myself, when I had locks, my biggest frustration was actually my roots. I would get so much frizz and so much fuzz. And if you were overlocking your roots, you can also get a lot of breakage up there, which will cause short little frizzy guys. That's actually why I took mine out, because they were just driving me up the wall. Okay. So overlocking and over maintenance is also bad, but underdoing it is also bad. Okay. Sorry, one sec. If you are wanting a lot of vivid colors, if you're wanting to change your colors, but still have that permanence, you can actually combine both permanent locks with semi-permanent locks. You can create extensions with your permanent locks using semi-permanent locks, and there's different options for you based on what it is that you need. So you could look at wool, you could look at synthetic, you could look at human hair. Some people even go as far as buying other people's dreadlocks that they've worn and matured over time. When I do a set of locks, I don't use any type of product. So there's no gel, there's no goop, there's no slime. The only product that once in blue moon I will use is kind of like a root boost powder, which is, it's a fine granule product. It looks almost like salt and it will just help kind of the teasing process. Now I do a combination of rip and twist and crochet. Very rarely do I interlock. It's very much customized to you, your hair, but you can walk out even if you have super duper crazy fine thin hair that is very soft. You can walk out with a full set of permanent dreadlock extensions in your first visit. It's just going to come down to the time that it takes. Now, when it comes to pricing dreadlock extensions, this is where I get asked, well, how much? Okay, the price is really going to vary based on your goals. Are you bringing in lock extensions? Do you want me to create the lock extensions for you? Dreadlocks are extremely tedious. They are very aggressive. They hurt my hands. I will be totally transparent. They are my favorite service to do, but they are not cheap, okay? It is an investment. I do offer financing, but I just want to be very direct and very clear with you that it is not a cheap service, and there is going to be up maintenance and upkeep with it. When it comes down to working with me as a client, when you do sign on as a client, you do agree to come back for maintenance, because I would be heartbroken if your hair started to break, if your hair started to fall out, if you started to experience a lot of these hair loss issues that I've seen my other clients experience. I have seen clients develop psoriasis from not taking care of them properly, from not doing proper scalp care. When you work with me as well, we are not only going to focus on the lock, we're going to actually focus on scalp care of your health, okay? Using different products to make sure that your scalp is healthy, it's supported, that your sections are clean. I do also have red light therapy in here as well, depending on your situation. Sometimes red light therapy is incorporated into your dreadlock installation and maintenance plan. But it really comes down customized to you and your goals. If you have more specific questions that I didn't answer per se about permanent versus impermanent, please let me know. I think both are great options. It really just comes down to like, are you going to change your color so frequently? Do you want to have the permanence to just kind of be able to take them out? With permanent dreadlocks, you can 100% get them out, but it's very tedious. It's very expensive. I did a half lock partial removal about a month and a half ago, and for me to remove about 10 locks, she was here for 6 hours. So just to give you kind of that time site. Now her locks were extremely mature. She had been wearing them for about a decade, but it is time intensive. If we're building extensions on, or if they're pre-done, that also factors into it. If you are going to have pre-made extensions, we definitely need to have conversations about where you're getting them, if you want me to do them, what type of material they're made of. There's nothing worse than putting dreadlock extensions in that are synthetic. You definitely want to make sure that they are human hair, but we also need to make sure that they have so much free hanging hair on the ends. But they can be customized, and there's so many different options that you could buy on Etsy and all these kind of places. Like there's so many beautiful extension pieces that you can add on, or I can also make them up for yourself. So attached is a PDF of, other FAQs just in case I missed anything, but I want you to come into this conversation and this consultation with kind of a full scope of, hopefully I've answered your questions already. And then just so you know as well, I do offer financing on all of my lock extension services too. I hope you're having a great day, and we will talk soon.